If you're a long-time viewer of MiTV, you might know I love a business book recommendation, something you can implement and get stuck right to in your business. But for the first time ever on MiTV, I've got a recommendation that is just as good, not about business, and I think you're going to love it. Hello, it's Emma Mills and welcome to episode 179 of MiTV. Easter is fast approaching. Maybe you're going away on holiday, maybe you're looking for a book to pack in your case or something to download onto Audible. And this week I have one for you which I know you're going to love, and it's not business focused, it's an autobiography of someone crazy successful, Will Smith. And I can honestly, when I bought this book, my boyfriend, I didn't realise, he absolutely couldn't stand Will Smith. I don't know where that kind of came from, and I didn't realise people had such strong opinions about him. I thought everybody loved Will Smith. And I can't say like I really know a great deal about him. This book is absolutely awesome. And if you are running a business, or if you are just like focusing on what you want to do in life, this has just some really amazing lessons in it. It's also written by Mark Manson, the guy who's written Everything Is Fucked and all of the books, all of those kind of books. I have done a MiTV about them. They are also awesome. So he's helped him write it. But I'm not just going to waffle on about Will Smith's book. I'm just going to get down to the nuggets of two things that really, really stood out. So number one, everybody successful around him that brought him into, so like for example, Quincy Jones said to him that he should be, they had a pilot for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Quincy Jones at a party had him audition immediately. He didn't have any prep or anything, and he was like, oh no, I'm not ready to do this, I'll do it in a week or 2 weeks. And Quincy Jones was saying, do you know what, the producers of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air will be busy in a week, and in 2 weeks they'll have a reason, in 3 weeks they'll have forgotten about doing this, so you need to do it right now. When Steven Spielberg wanted him to, I won't hold this up the whole time, I'm not being paid by Will to talk about this, but when Steven Spielberg rang him up to try and get him to do Men in Black, and Will Smith wasn't too sure about it. He'd just done Independence Day, he didn't want to be known as the sci-fi guy, and he said to Steven Spielberg, oh, I'm not too sure about it. He's like, what are your concerns? And he went, let's talk them through. And Will went, okay, well, I'm free in like 3 weeks or whatever. And he went, no, I'll send a helicopter now, you come and see me now. And everybody around him that was incredibly successful, and and everything he was involved in with them, it happened quickly. They were quick implementers. I talk about him a lot. Nigel Bottrell professes this a lot, that the faster you can get things done, the quicker, ultimately the more successful you and your business will be. You can fail faster, you can be more successful faster. But everybody in here, they did not procrastinate. When they were going to do something, they looked at the quickest possible time frame to make a decision on it, to see if they wanted to do it. There was no like booking a meeting in a week's time or getting together next month. It was like, okay, well, no, we'll just sort it out now. And that's how all of the really great things that he got involved with, the things that all the leveler-uppers, the springboards, the catapults, they all got done in that kind of framework of, okay, well, we'll just decide it now, audition now, come and meet me now. The other bit which really stood out in this is, I won't do any plot spoilers, but towards the later part of Will's life, like in his 40s, and he's like 50-something now, but in his 40s, he's definitely had some kind of midlife crises and things going on in his life. And one out of many, many things that happen in the period of his 40s, one of the things that he does is he completely needs to decompress. Ultimately, he's like he spent his whole life in turbo. He's got very, very high standards. He wanted everything to be perfect in his life. He's kind of driven his family, his team, his entourage. He's full 100 miles an hour. And one of the things that he did was a friend of his had been to some silence camp program in India. And Will basically just took 2 weeks out in one of his houses, 2 weeks in the mountains. And now I know before you say I can't take 2 weeks out and not do anything, it's not about that. Just stick with me for a moment. He took 2 weeks out. He didn't have any technology. All he had was paper and pen. He didn't have his phone with him. He didn't ring anyone, text anyone. He'd imposed on himself that he would have a 2-week ban of silence ultimately. And he wouldn't talk to other people. He would just deal with his own thoughts, feelings, and the short story is that from day 1 to 7, 8, he was kind of like, I'm not enjoying this, tearing my hair out. Day 9, 10 onwards, it flipped, and he said he became into a state like the most creative he'd been. He was coming up with ideas. He spent most of his time writing, thinking, writing down his ideas, capturing what was going through his head, and he felt happy. And now, obviously for him, he decluttered a lot of stuff that was going on within him. He had no way to be distracted. He had to deal with the thoughts going on in his head. But where I'm going with this is that one of the things that comes out of the book is that having a moment of time. Now, while I don't have the luxury of having 2 weeks of complete silence, other stuff going on. What I do have is the luxury of making that 6 till 7 in the morning is my time to journal, which I've done religiously since the beginning of January now, but to journal, to listen to a podcast, to do some yoga, to make a shake, whatever it might be. Like, it might just literally be an hour to yourself of prepping for the day, and like getting you, it might be any kind of time for you. But what comes out of the book is just having time where you can think clearly, can deep think, where you're not in the constant not in the constant notifications, responding to emails, everything in life, the distractions, all the ways people can contact you. To have at least an hour a day where it's just you, and you can't do proper deep thinking when you're in this mode of distraction. So my main takeaway from this for MiTV this week is implementing, getting stuff done, just getting shit done quickly is good in every part of your life. And to have that hour a day, that dedicated time, even if it's just at the weekend downtime for you to focus on what you want to do. Maybe it's reading a bit, maybe it's listening to something educational, maybe it's listening to something uplifting. Just having the time for you to properly collect your thoughts, think about what things you want to try, start, do, things you'll keep putting off, things you've had on your list for ages and you want to start. That is the key to having a productive and happy business and personal life. So I really hope this episode, I highly recommend the audiobook, the actual book. I hope this episode gets your head out of the dirt and into the clouds, in that getting stuff done and implemented not only is a great feeling, but pushes you forward. And having that time every day just for you to get clarity and focus and dream and think about what things you want to start and do is really, really key. So I hope this episode gets your head out of the dirt, into the clouds, and I'll see you next week for episode 180. See you then. Bye-bye.